Welcome back, friends. We had a very enriching session while we were discussing about Bloom's taxonomy in the first session. Let's continue the journey of understanding Bloom taxonomy and its revised version, how it is effective in, you can say, present context and present scenario, how it is apt to be followed and taken up in the classrooms. Bloom's taxonomy actually emphasizes on project-based learning. So how the projects are actually able to help the children gain knowledge, we'll try and understand. So let's continue. It is talking about, as we saw, that it is talking about 6 levels. Now we will try and understand what each level of Bloom taxonomy is talking about. Like the level 1 says remember, okay, knowledge. So how it can be done, how it is to be taken in the classrooms. Like it can be through the questions like define, list, recall, or memorize. So some example which have been quoted here, like we are taking up some science formula, or maybe in social science, we are talking about learning the names of the states and the capitals. So talking about level 2 now, which says understand. So understand can be done, that is with the help of questions like explain the Big Bang Theory, or classify types of electricity, or in English, when teacher asks the child to summarize a story already has which has been done, already which has been read in the classroom. Now the teacher is expecting that the child should be able to summarize. So this is actually covering the level 2, that is understand. Now talking about the level 3, that is how to apply and how to ensure that application past has been taken care in the classrooms, like certain formulas which have been learnt. Now the same formula is being applied to solve a problem which is given by the teacher facilitator. So questions which can be taken up like use, implement, or solve. Level 4 now. So level 4 is discussing about analyze, like two things, the details have been given, and now the child is trying to compare, contrast, or maybe differentiate. So example has been quoted, like apple is there, but it is green in color, red in color. So differences the child is trying to take up. Talking about where the child is going to tell the features of frog and a toad, and then they write it like in a table manner. It can be written and then they can discuss it. So talking about level 5 now, which is evaluate. Let's see how this can be taken care. It is basically about that how it can be done in the classroom. It can be done with the questions like criticize, justify, or argue. So a debate in the classroom on a particular topic where the child is going to talk for and against can be taken up as an evaluate question. Now the level 6, where the child is expected to create, innovate. So here the questions which can be given are like draw a design, construct a house plan, or develop a software. Like one example which has been quoted here, like create a business plan. So the keywords and the are actually now the action verbs, the noun which were there in the you can say the original taxonomy have become actually the action verbs. So, for the teacher's reference, how it can be, how the change is there, like rather than just knowing the facts of the World War II, children are expected to analyze the cause, the impact of World War II. So now talking about the Bloom's wheel and the verb wheel which has been taken up, the revised Bloom's wheel which we need to discuss at length. Let's take up this. So let's check this. See, the first one is talking about the remember. Okay, here the child is gaining the knowledge and you can see the how it can be taken care by the questions like select, write, recite, state, name, record, etc. And the outcome and the help to the children. How, from where do they get it? That is from the events, from the people, from the recordings, from the dictionary, television, or definition, or say text reading, or magazines or articles. So, this is how this part, the first level, can be taken care. Now, if I talk about, say, understand how this can be taken care, like the questions which can be put up, which can be of help to the children, that is, explain, confirm, convert, match, compare, discuss, predict, etc. And from where do they get? Just see, they can get it from the photographs, that is cartoons, some tape recording, summary, diagram, poster, outline, or graph. So there are so many things which can be taken up. Third comes, that is the apply. So let's take how this can be taken care, or which areas are there for the children to understand, that is modify, construct, report, prioritize, sketch, produce, and the areas from where do they get, that is with the help of sculpture, photograph, forecast, illustration, list, puzzle, cartoons, etc. Talking about the next, where the child develops a kind of ability to analyze. So here, the areas which are being covered, that is categorize, investigate, compare, debate, differentiate. So from where do they get? It can be taken up from surveys, model, conclusion, graph, argument, and questionnaire. Next comes, that is evaluate. So let's see how this can be done. It is with the help of like justify, assess, judgment, appraise. It can be prioritize, then it can be criticize. So from where do they get? Like the surveys, recommendation. It can be some group discussion. It can be a court trial, can be conclusion, etc. So talking next, that is the top level. That is from where do we get it? That is, let's check. Create the topmost, where the child is learning to innovate. So how do we get it? It is kind of when we are taking up questions like compose, combine, design, generate, originate, invent, etc. And from where do the children get this? Let's see, it can be with the help of some experiments, it can be some story, it can be some game, it can be an invention. Okay, So there are so many things which have been given here and which can be taken as a help by the teacher facilitators to further help students gain the knowledge. So let's understand now like how this Bloom taxonomy can be further applied in the classroom scenario. Like we have to be very careful when we are planning the lesson. Very important, and one term which has been given for us to understand is scaffold learning. So scaffold learning means what? That we break down a concept into smaller portions and then gradually we expect the child should learn it. That is, the emphasis or the objective is from the idea to remember the facts, and then finally reaching to the create. So it says that start with remember and aim for create. So one more important aspect which has been discussed a lot in the Bloom taxonomy is differentiated instructions. Now, what does this mean? That is, we are trying to match the requirements of varied learners or say needs of the varied learners. Like first we take care of the pedagogical approach, like understanding the different or say differently abled students. We have to make changes in our pedagogy, and according to it, we need to modify the content. The approach involves like modifying the content, the process, and product of instruction. So now talking about like very important ones, if things have been done, if the instruction have been passed, obviously we need to know that how much and where can say if the child is lagging, how much the child has learned and where is the lagging, that we have to understand. So the assessment which has been, or say the way of assessments which have been suggested by Bloom's taxonomy is multiple choice. It is going to help the child in remembering. And then talking about, say, essays for analyzing or evaluating. So here, what is actually the, as you can see, how the essays are going to help, as the essays are basically the thoughts or opinions of an individual, right? Because they have seen the world, they have experienced the world, and through their own experiences, they are going to give the reflections. So they are also called as reflection or essays, where the child is going to express their own ideas, their own thoughts, right? So, like the topics which can be taken up for this is like sex education, non-smoking campus, or learning disabilities. So, children are writing their own experiences from which we get certain ideas of their, can say, their world, what they are or what all they are going through. We come to know about this. So this is how this can be taken up. Next, the most can say suggested way of giving the projects or assessing the child is design project, which actually is aligned with higher order thinking, where the child learns certain skills and does the project his or by like project is being done by the child, where he or she is going to showcase their abilities. So to better understand, next comes like we need to understand that the digital tools which actually support the teaching through Bloom's theory, that is Kahoot. Kahoot helps the children to remember the facts. Padlet is a digital tool which helps the children to analyze. And Canva is available where children can create and showcase their innovation abilities. So obviously we have to also discuss about the criticism and the limitations of the Bloom taxonomy. What critics have to say about it, that it has been oversimplified and too rigid for complex thinking. But the response to critics is like, use flexibility and adapt to learners. That it is on the now teacher facilitators that how they actually use this taxonomy, this theory, to suit their requirement, and the flexibility they actually give to the theory, they how they adapt as per the requirements of the learners, that is up to the teachers facilitators. So, dear friends, I would expect that you would support me and you would also contribute to understand, further elaborate this taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy. You will apply Bloom's taxonomy in your teaching. You will also actually write comments on my comment section so that we know, because once any theory is being put up, once we try it in our classrooms, we see its positive points, we also see its negative points. And then this negative points actually gives us lot of scope to improve. Where all the requirements, where all the improvements are required, we can together sit, discuss, and improvise. So please write comments. Thank you so much. It has been very nice being with you. Please ask questions in the comment section. Subscribe and support Holistic Learning Portal for further learning sessions. I am thoroughly enjoying being part of the All India Educators Forum. Thank you so much. Thank you. Nice being here.